It was a rainy Tuesday afternoon when Officer Jennifer Carson, a kind and attentive officer at the local police station, noticed a little girl standing at the entrance. She was drenched, clutching a small, tattered bag, and her face was streaked with tears. Despite her soaked appearance, there was a determination in her eyes that caught Jennifer's attention. The girl, no older than 8 or 9, cautiously stepped forward and softly said, "My stepmother makes me work a lot. I can't do this anymore." Jennifer immediately knelt to meet her at eye level, offering a warm smile and a blanket. "What's your name, sweetheart?" she asked gently. "Emma," the girl replied, her voice trembling. Jennifer led Emma to a quiet room where she could dry off and warm up. Offering her a cup of hot cocoa, she began to ask questions, careful not to overwhelm her. Emma hesitated at first, but as Jennifer's kindness enveloped her, she started to open up. She explained that her mother had passed away 2 years ago, and her father remarried soon after. Her stepmother, Claire, was nothing like her loving mother. While Emma's father worked long hours as a truck driver, Claire made Emma do all the housework: cooking, cleaning, laundry, and even tending to the garden. If Emma didn't complete her chores to Claire's satisfaction, she would be yelled at. Emma described a life that sounded more like something from a dark fairy tale than a real childhood. Claire forced her to wake up before sunrise every day to clean the house, wash dishes, cook meals, and even do the laundry, all while attending school and completing her homework. If Emma didn't meet Claire's impossible standards, she was punished. "She makes me scrub the floors until my knees hurt," Emma said, her voice trembling. "And if I don't finish everything before she gets home, she locks me in the storage room with no dinner." Jennifer's heart sank as she listened. The bruises on Emma's arms and the deep exhaustion in her eyes were undeniable signs of neglect and abuse. Trying her best to remain calm, Jennifer gently asked, "Does your father know about this?" Emma shook her head. "He works all the time. Claire tells me not to bother him. She says he won't believe me anyway." Jennifer leaned forward, her voice firm but soothing. "Emma, I'm here to help you. What you're going through isn't right, and it's not your fault. You're very brave for coming here today." Tears streamed down Emma's face, but there was also a glimmer of hope. For the first time in years, someone was listening to her. Jennifer assured Emma she would do everything in her power to help her. After notifying Child Protective Services and documenting Emma's account, Jennifer began to investigate the situation. Little did she know, this case would lead to a series of events that would expose shocking truths and change Emma's life forever. As the investigation began, Jennifer wasted no time in gathering evidence to build a strong case. She contacted Emma's school to verify her claims and discovered a troubling pattern. Teachers noted that Emma often arrived at school looking tired, wearing unkempt clothes, and seemed distracted during lessons. Several teachers had reported their concerns to Claire, who dismissed them as overthinking. One teacher, Mrs. Andrews, had even tried to reach out to Emma's father but never received a response. Jennifer also visited Emma's home unannounced. When she arrived, Claire answered the door, feigning surprise. "Oh, officer, what brings you here?" Claire said, her voice laced with artificial sweetness. Jennifer remained professional, but direct. "We've received some troubling reports about Emma's well-being. I need to ask you a few questions." Claire's demeanor shifted subtly. She invited Jennifer in, but maintained a defensive tone throughout the conversation. She claimed Emma was a difficult child who often exaggerated her struggles. Claire insisted she was strict only to instill discipline and that everything she did was for Emma's own good. Jennifer didn't buy it. The tension in the house was palpable, and Emma's timid body language spoke volumes. To Claire's dismay, Jennifer insisted on inspecting the house. She found the storage room Emma had described, a tiny, windowless space that reeked of dampness. The room was bare, except for a small blanket on the floor. "Care to explain this?" Jennifer asked, her voice sharp. Claire stammered, trying to justify the room as a place for Emma to reflect on her mistakes. But the evidence was damning. Jennifer documented everything: the state of the storage room, the bruises on Emma's arms, and the clear signs of emotional and physical abuse. Meanwhile, Jennifer managed to contact Emma's father, David, who seemed genuinely shocked when he heard about the allegations. "I had no idea," he admitted over the phone, his voice filled with guilt. "Claire said Emma was just acting out. I trusted her." Jennifer arranged a meeting with David, determined to dig deeper. When they met at the station, David appeared overwhelmed but cooperative. He revealed that he worked long hours to support the family and had relied heavily on Claire to manage the household. "I should have been more involved," David said, his eyes welling up with tears. "I can't believe I let this happen." Jennifer encouraged him to step up and take responsibility for Emma's safety. She also advised him to consider legal action to ensure Claire could no longer harm his daughter. As the investigation progressed, the evidence against Claire mounted. Child Protective Services filed a report recommending immediate action, and Jennifer worked tirelessly to prepare the case for court. But amidst all the legal proceedings, Jennifer also focused on ensuring Emma felt safe and supported. She arranged counseling sessions for Emma and connected her with resources to help her heal. For the first time in her life, Emma began to feel a sense of hope. She no longer had to endure Claire's abuse in silence. But the road ahead was still uncertain, and Jennifer knew the fight for justice was far from over. The court hearing was set for a chilly morning, and the courtroom was packed with concerned onlookers. Jennifer, Emma, and David sat together on one side, while Claire sat alone, her once confident demeanor replaced with nervousness. The weight of the accusations against her was evident. As the hearing began, the prosecutor presented a compelling case against Claire. Photos of Emma's bruises, the condition of the storage room, and testimonies from her teachers and neighbors painted a harrowing picture of neglect and abuse. The prosecutor emphasized the psychological and physical toll Claire's actions had taken on Emma. Claire's defense attorney tried to paint her as a misunderstood stepmother, claiming she was strict out of love and that Emma's behavior had been difficult to manage. But the judge wasn't swayed. Emma took the stand next. Her small frame and nervous expression drew sympathetic murmurs from the audience. Jennifer had prepared her for this moment, assuring her she was brave enough to speak the truth. With trembling hands, Emma recounted her ordeal. "She called me useless. She made me sleep in the storage room. Sometimes I didn't eat if I didn't finish my chores." Her voice cracked, and tears streamed down her face as she described the moments that left scars on her soul. The courtroom was silent, hanging on her every word. David, sitting nearby, clenched his fists in anger and sorrow, clearly grappling with guilt over not protecting his daughter sooner. Jennifer testified next, presenting her findings from the investigation. She spoke of Claire's dismissive attitude, the condition of the home, and the overwhelming evidence of abuse. Her calm and professional demeanor left no room for doubt. When the defense called Claire to testify, her composure faltered. She struggled to justify her actions under the scrutiny of the judge and prosecutor. Her explanations, ranging from "Emma misunderstood my intentions" to "I was under stress," were weak and unconvincing. As the hearing progressed, it became evident that the court's sympathy was firmly with Emma. The judge, a stern but fair woman, addressed Claire directly during the proceedings. "You were entrusted with the care of a vulnerable child, and you failed in the most egregious way," the judge said, her voice laced with disappointment. After hours of testimonies and deliberations, the court reached a decision. Claire was found guilty of child abuse and neglect and was sentenced to several years in prison. The judge also ruled that Claire would have no further contact with Emma, ensuring the young girl's safety moving forward. David was granted full custody of Emma, with the condition that he undergo parenting counseling to rebuild his relationship with her and address the years of neglect. He embraced his daughter tightly as the judge read the ruling, vowing never to let her suffer again. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed Jennifer for comments, but she gently declined. Her focus was on Emma, who clung to her father's hand, a small but hopeful smile on her face. Jennifer knelt down to Emma's level. "You were so brave today," she said. "Remember, this is the start of a new chapter for you. You're stronger than you think. Emma nodded, her eyes filled with gratitude. For the first time in years, she felt safe, loved, and ready to embrace the future. As Jennifer walked away from the courthouse, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment. She had fought for justice, but more importantly, she had helped a little girl reclaim her life. And that, she thought, was worth every sleepless night and moment of doubt. David and Emma's lives began to change profoundly after the court ruling. For David, it was a journey of redemption, while for Emma, it was a chance to rediscover a childhood she thought she'd lost forever. The first step was moving out of the house where Claire's shadow loomed. David sold the home and relocated to a small but cozy apartment in a family-friendly neighborhood. The new place was a fresh start for both of them, a space free of painful memories, where Emma could feel safe and begin to heal. David threw himself into fatherhood, determined to make up for the lost time. He enrolled in parenting counseling and therapy sessions with Emma. These sessions helped him confront the guilt he had been carrying and taught him how to build trust with his daughter. Emma, though hesitant at first, slowly began to open up. Their days were filled with small, meaningful moments. David started cooking breakfast for Emma every morning, learning her favorite meals and sitting with her at the table to talk about her day. He accompanied her to school events, something he'd rarely done before, and even volunteered for parent-teacher activities. Emma, meanwhile, began to blossom in her new environment. With Jennifer's help, she was enrolled in a local art class where she found a love for painting and sketching. Her teacher noticed her talent immediately and encouraged her to express her emotions through her art. One day, Emma painted a picture of a stormy night with a small figure standing under an umbrella. When David saw it, he asked, "What's this about?" Emma smiled shyly and said, "It's about the bad times, but the umbrella is me now. It keeps the rain away." David's eyes welled with tears, realizing just how far his daughter had come in such a short time. Jennifer remained a significant presence in their lives. She would often visit to check in on Emma and share updates on her own work. The bond they had formed during the investigation turned into a genuine friendship. Jennifer even brought Emma a sketch pad and colored pencils as a gift, encouraging her to keep pursuing her art. As the months passed, Emma started to excel in school. Her teachers noted her improved confidence and participation. She made new friends and even joined the school's art club. For David, the experience had been life-changing. He became an advocate for child protection, speaking at local events about recognizing the signs of abuse and the importance of intervening. He shared his story openly, hoping it would inspire others to act before it was too late. One evening, as David and Emma sat on the couch watching a movie, Emma leaned her head on his shoulder. "Thank you, Dad," she said softly. "For what?" David asked, wrapping his arm around her. "For being here now," she replied. In that moment, David knew that while he couldn't change the past, he could shape a brighter future for his daughter. And that's exactly what he intended to do. Emma's journey from a neglected child to a thriving young girl was a testament to resilience and the power of love. With her father by her side and a community that supported her, she was ready to face the world, one painting, one smile, and one step at a time.